how's it going, Kingsman? Welcome back to the Napoleonic Total War 3 Battlefield. Hope you guys are all doing well, and I hope you guys are ready for an epic, amazing battle, because I know I say that a lot, but today, this battle, guys, was insane. I actually pre-screened this a little bit. That's right, I actually did something, and man, I had to stop, because I was like, the suspense, I gotta not spoil the surprise for myself. It's a genuine reaction when we get to the end, because man, it was heating up, guys. It was a gorgeous battle. This one is Leipzig South. A lot of experienced players on both sides, so man, it was a beautifully coordinated battle between a lot of experienced players, and a lot of kills on each side, like over 1,000, if not 1,000 kills on each army. That's saying something, you know, considering how many troops are going to be on the field today. And these are the Second Coalition 1799 corps that they're playing with. I do not have the points for the Coalition, just the Imperials, which of course you have the 11-pointer hanging out right here in the center. You have behind him, or to his left I should say, or to his right maybe. Yeah, 12-point Bonaparte. They're going to be reinforced by the 7 and 6-point French armies. Looks like they're going to be slightly delayed here, but then of course they're going up against 2 Austrias and it looks like 2 Suvorov styled armies. Now I'm not sure they both are Suvorov necessarily, but yeah, I'm really excited, guys, to show this one, and let's get into it now. Trying to figure out where all the armies come from. I know that there is the deployment. Obviously, there's 2 armies that hold here. There we go. There's a general sitting right here. Not sure where their army is. I'm assuming it's over in this area. But it looks like the first push may be made by Austria right down the center road towards this small, quaint little town here, whose name I will not try to butcher for the sake of respect of the people that live there. That's yeah, but like the French, like I said, taking this town, garrisoning it. They do have some artillery set up, commanding the nice open fields. Like, look at these mud fields that they control, and they are just pummeling this Austrian advance on this flank with as much artillery as is possible. They have horse artillery, not a lot of infantry near this town yet. I'm not sure if they're going to push forward to contest it, or if they're just standing their ground and just biding their time, waiting until the rest of their reinforcements push up. They don't want to get outnumbered. But we have not seen a lot of Austrians or coalition advancing. I do hear a little bit of marching here. And over on this other side, I mean, we're starting to see a little bit of movement. More on army shifting over this direction. So we'll have 2 over here facing off against this 12-pointer. More cavalry starting to scout. Nice open fields, like I said before, though, guys. This is going to be a tough... Now, this flank, the French can hold pretty well. It's a nice little riverbed. It's got some hills on the opposite side. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. Now, the center, that's where... And, I mean, we're looking at, you know, a coalition that has... That army is almost 2,000. That army is 2,000. That army is almost 25. And that army is almost 2. So, 2, 4, 6... 8,500 men on the coalition side versus, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,000 roughly, a little less than 7,000 men for the French. So 7 versus 8,500, 700 versus 8,500. So there's definitely a numerical advantage for the coalition, but I'm sure the French make up for it in quality. They have some very good quality troops on the field here. Now we do have, so these troops are still kind of trying to get in the right direction. Pathfinding looks like it may suck in this town. Probably trying to figure out where exactly they want to push that reserve. And obviously, you know, the French are holding their troops back, artillery even waiting. Now it seems like they are making their move. Looks like they're trying to decide, maybe they're trying to decide if the coalition was going to pull to this side and attack, and if they needed to be able to react quickly to the road right here, they could rush across to the other side, or maybe they were just waiting to see if they need to advance and not get pummeled by artillery. But we do see a general advance being made. A decision has been made on the French side, and a lot of troops are now shuffling to the right-hand side. Not shuffling, marching to the right-hand side. And this Austria was actually starting to come into view. Starting to see a lot of their troops. More and more of them. Look at this. And there is a Suvorov-looking army. Not sure if it's just Russians. Either way, it does look like I said before, Bonaparte is going to push out, hold this left side that the coalition is pushing on, the right side of the French line. Moreau is going to take the kind of center, I guess. I mean, we have this 7-pointer who's going to be pushing over. I'm not sure if they're going to take the center as well. We still haven't seen a lot of scouting. There's a lot of artillery, very active. Of course, that's going to mean, you know, they're going to be less aggressive. A lot of cavalry here, though. Not sure who has more cav, if it's the coalition or the Imperials. I do not see a lot of cavalry for the French.
We have taken a building, sir.
And another building has been taken, way on the flank. And that other army, to say, is still a little bit away, but we are starting to see the first push. Look at this. Oh. Oh, wow. That is just the entire left flank just displayed. And that was a lot of troops. And yet, he's kind of advancing, you know? Like, undaunted. He's like, yep, there's a huge army. Let's keep advancing. Now, you're also starting to see the Austrians over here making their advance. Light infantry, line infantry. Looks like some Saxons or Hessians in the line over here. So a little bit of a different build than maybe the other side. Artillery is moving. It does look like actually the French are abandoning this side, which may not be a bad idea. They want to consolidate a little bit. Obviously, there's about to be quite the. This is going to be a big contest. You know, this is going to be just a glorious clash here. However, surprisingly, the coalition is kind of falling back. I'm not sure if they were kind of worried about that 12-pointer, but I mean, yeah, guys, look, the French are pretty. Well, let's do this. Helicopter view, like in the old movies.
This building has fallen to the enemy.
You knew it was a real view of like thousands of men, but you can see, I mean, the French are still mobilizing. A lot of their troops are still on the march, trying to get over, and then you have the French 12-pointer who's just pushing against two armies at once. And another army's here. I don't know where the fourth army is. Oh, what's he doing? Okay. Oh, they went for a huge flank. So they're going to be pushing in here. Interesting. So they're going to push for a huge flank, which is maybe why the French have moved away, making more distance, making that flank a lot more difficult. The thing to, you know, it's kind of hard for them to flank you if your flank's not even there to be flanked. Now it looks like the coalition, they have artillery set up. You can start pummeling this French line. France actually falling back here. That was a huge push, but obviously they are gonna. They probably don't like those odds of the artillery and then the nice defensive position with the LOC. Here it does look like the 7-pointer is probably going to be standing in, defending the left flank. Obviously there is an army way out there. What do I happen to this skirm? I do like the artillery shell sound, like it whistling overhead. That's what I would totally expect that exact sound to be made on a battlefield, standing there and hearing it just like overhead and being like, well, that could have killed me, but it didn't. You know, that would automatically start making you duck your head whenever you hear it. Alright, so we have artillery setting up. Looks like 11 Pointer is going to take this fight at this point. Even as a contingent of light infantry. We're gonna push up here. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, look at this. Look at this. They have a reserve line, too, and they have the reinforcing Dessay, who can push up and protect their center, more or less. We even have Bonaparte shifting troops over this direction, maybe going to go for an angled attack on the coalition, but they're already falling back. It's like they just, like, already know, guys. They already know. When you've played enough, you probably know exactly what the enemy's going to do, because it's what you would do. To a certain degree, obviously. Now, I don't know too much about the coalition's strengths and weaknesses. I don't know if they're really good at shooting. I know Suvorov is a deadly, fast melee army. Part of it, at least, is. I'm assuming the coalition have some decent stats, though, when it comes to shooting. I'm assuming this army does not. I'm assuming a lot of these guys are going to be ill-prepared for taking a line fight with some French units. Now, I believe if it is 1799... the army was still in the earlier development stages. Yeah, they even have the details, guys. There's not a lot of shoes on these guys. Keep in mind, this is still when, like, you know,
building has fallen to the
national fervor was high. Ooh, we actually have Austria getting assaulted here. Making a bayonet charge. The first real contact here. Austria is going to stand their ground here, but you can see... Ooh, not a tree. The French are making quite a significant push. But here we go. The French, the 95th, charging in. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on with the sound, guys, but... I will fix it. That's the thing. So they're going to do a melee here, and then potentially probably go in, yeah, for an LOC, I'm assuming. Just like some of the Austrians did charge or retreated into the LOC. We may have even a cav charge. Maybe. The French definitely did take... Man. They definitely took the victory there. But Austria is standing up with some more line infantry, and now the French are going to push out of the town and start engaging with those lines. But actually, I am seeing a potential engagement here. Look at this. Napoleon charging his troops out. Ooh, a bayonet charge to counter that. They're going to fire just in time and just absolutely murder the Austrians as they charged in. And then France is going to start pushing forward here. On the other side, it does look like, ooh, there's a little bit of a cav charge. Looks like France still pushing out of the town, starting to get in a melee with some of those Austrians. Over here, it's going to start turning into a madhouse. Looks like those chasseurs break. The 101st pushing in. Turning into a shooting gallery. Someone's going to have to break at some point. I'm not sure who's going to yet. More cavalry clashing over here. It does look like France has managed to push all the way back. Austria's probably going to start pulling back on that flank. Got some grenadiers now charging in as well. Now keep in mind this line is forming up, but this center is looking very, very, very wavery. I guess is the best way to describe it. Man, this side's getting rolled back. More cavalry probably going to go for some artillery. Austria is kind of in a retreat. And their howitzers do break. Cavalry starting to push in on the flank of this melee. And you see masses of cavalry from the 11-pointer now going over to support this attack. France even pursuing onto the flank is starting to cave. It's forcing this whole Austrian line to start pulling back. And we have the Russians pushing forward, maybe just trying to threaten the flank so France can't follow up this Austrian retreat. Austria still has reserves, so it is not over by any means, but France is definitely taking quite a victorious first attack. Very successful.
Our men are running for.
Sorry guys, trying to cover it all at once. Looks like some more cavalry clashing. Austria trying to save their army here. A couple random line units left, but the rest of the reserves have made a lot of distance between themselves and the French. Yeah, and I'm not sure what's going on with the sound. It's just, ever since CA did something, they did the hotfix, but my computer just doesn't like it. Pretty sure. Hopefully it gets fixed as the replay goes on. You do have the Russians pushing over here, starting pouring some fire. Have a beautiful flank going. Now, Bonaparte does have a contingent of forces to defend this left side, or the right side, I guess, for them. And has artillery set up facing this encroaching Russian army. And Austria has a good reserve line, so they are not beaten entirely. They are still very much in this fight. And they have a lot of grenadiers, which was their reserve line. Very fresh, very ready to fight. Okay, so here is that army, guys, finally showing up. At least the beginning of it. So we know that there is a Russian army strung along this road. That this French army's, yeah, they're falling back. They kind of have to at this point. Their flank is about to be threatened. They need to, like, get back. Get ready to deal with the flank. Oh, huge cav charge! Oh, I'm glad I caught that. There were some squares that were formed, but still, that's going to hurt quite a bit. Slow them down, and now France may actually be able to start throwing forces forward. Ooh, the counter cav charge.
Our men are running for.
Oh man, this thing's heating up. Cavalry infantry still pushing. France actually going in on this flank now, ignoring this Austria that was kind of reforming. And now the battle's spilling over to this flank here. Actually, you can see France taking some losses against this concentrated fire from the Russia. And holding the ground here. France taking some losses.
Our men are running for.
I want to make sure I'm not missing any of the action happening here. Oh man, another cav charge. Some cuirassiers who did charge in, just breaking up this 7-pointer's line. Not a lot of squares being formed. Oh my goodness. So much cavalry just wrecked the 7-pointer. Now they're going to go for the guns and the flank. It looks like, all at once. So this flank not looking too good at the moment. I mean, they're not collapsing in on themselves, but it's not looking good, especially considering this is an army over here, a totally strong, fresh army that is coming over, and they don't really have a lot to deal with that. Over here, it does look like France. Yep, they're starting to get even more and more aggressive. Got some French cavalry in the back lines, still got some artillery. France is still pressing for the attack. Austria is still untouched on this flank, but man, are they getting hit pretty hard over here. Ooh, more cavalry charging in.
Our men are running, sir.
What a nightmare of a battle. Like, it's so hard to, like, the lines are becoming blurred a little bit. Just trying to figure out what's going on there. Those Crossiers are still in the fight. Looks like they're getting charged by some reinforcing cavalry from France. At the same time, like I said, this Russian army, it's getting close. It's getting real close, and Austria probably is realizing they just gotta delay just a little bit, and then they can push with a reinforcing fresh army. Looks like another cavalry charge here, and they're running them down. Square gets formed. Yeah, Austria's kind of been left alone. Suvorov, I'm not sure if it's Suvorov or just Russia. I'm just gonna say Russia, I guess. Still falling back. They're getting hit pretty hard by concentration of the 12-pointer with some cavalry from the 11-pointer. France is starting to pull back, as they should, because, as I've said a couple times now, this is a huge problem. There's so many Russians that are fresh, haven't fought yet. Russia's even going for the LOC here. So this 7-pointer is outclassed at this point. They're going to be pulling back, I'm assuming, maybe even drawing the line next to this town. This is where the important fighting is happening that I think the French are winning. But we do have, I believe, yep, we have a Austrian attack that is happening once again while the French are in the midst of fighting
This building has fallen to the enemy.
So they did take that LOC over there. And yeah, it looks like the coalition have realized this is their opportunity to attack. And that's exactly what they're starting to do. This fresh line is pushing. France cannot probably, I mean, they're going to probably try to continue pushing the attack here, but also falling back against the Austrians. They are using half their army for each thing. Now, they are winning this fight. But if the, you know, Russians play it well, they could get away with a good chunk of their army still. However, I do like the French are pressing the attack, trying to surround this small remainder of the army left. They want to eliminate as many of them as possible before I have to turn and face this Austria. And over here, France is, yep, totally retreating. Oh my gosh. How disheartening that would be to see this, you know? Entirely fresh army, just ready to roll up, and you're tired. Your men are tired, have been fighting for a while, taking some losses. I believe he has some reserves, so he was expecting it. But still, and then you know you're about to get attacked anew from the Austrians. I do believe France is not going to catch the rest of this army. And they are already being engaged by Austria, who's capitalizing on the fact that they are still engaging with this Russia. But what a fight so far, man! Did I not promise? Now, of course, if I could catch everything in time, it would be even better. But there's way too much happening on too many sides. Almost could have reported both sides separately to try to splice them together. Grenadiers charging in with the cavalry to force them into a square so they get a solid melee in. We're going to get another cavalry charge. Ooh, but these grenadiers can form square, so France is not going to have as easy of a time as they used to. And the approaching storm is almost here. France is going to probably have to do their best to delay them, but they're going to be getting hit by this Austria too. Man, this is getting rough. I don't know if France is going to win this. They have to make some real wins here against Austria, which looks like they're starting to do as best they can. I don't know. I don't know if France can cut it out now. They got to make a real big play. And I see a lot of breaking against this Austrian line. Talk about the break. More cavalry, though. France is not letting up. They are pressing forward with even more and more cavalry and infantry. They just are not, they refuse to let up on the pressure they're putting in this Austrian army. And at some point, one side is going to snap and break. Unfortunately, the French seem to be breaking a lot quicker than the Austrians are. Austria has been able to rest up, and this French army's been already fighting for quite some time. And now, here comes more Russians. It's just so rough, this Imperial side. I love the against all odds fighting, you know. I'm expecting great things still, you know. The bar is set high.
Our men are running.
Alright, this cavalry's doing something here, breaking one unit at a time. Just, you know, pace yourself. That's all France is doing. They still have some artillery. Austria obviously has been forced back. Suvorov has held their line. And the French are going to have to start falling back against, you know, the weight of that attack. Oh, beautiful back charge. That was well read. That's going to stop this attack. Now there's cavalry still that can go over and defend that side. Oh no. This is the thing that should not have happened. They're getting real close. Let's sell some units, and they're getting some nice flanking volleys. And cavalry is doing their best to defend this side. They have some reserves setting up here to volley up whatever Russians are in this. But this side's looking kind of weak. Now the LC is going to help. They're going to be able to stop at least some of this. Now, of course, you could expect the Russians to go for a melee into the house, and then there goes that foothold they have. Things are starting to clear up a little bit for this French army. It's like a big gap missing for the coalition, and then, of course, you have this Russia here. But still, France is still in a desperate fight, guys. This is not a just like, well, we'll fight, we can draw, you know, if, you know, things are looking bad. This is a, we have to stop them, and we can't die or else we lose. High-stakes situations here. And they're falling back, obviously. I mean, they have this flank pushing in at the same time. They do lose the LOC. I'm assuming they're going to pull back even more. I'm not sure where they're going to pull back to. I mean, man, this is still rough. I mean, the French are holding it together, though. They're holding it together. I mean, a good job on the coalition for putting that pressure on them. And not only that, but this flank, I kind of was skeptical at first. I was seeing them go all the way around. But, man, they came in at the right moment. And they are really pushing, throwing their weight around. Even if it is a delayed weight. We'll see if these horse guns stay here. Okay, they're going to limber up. The brave 7th standing their ground. They are outgunned. Wow. Oh no, they're gonna lose the guns.
Our men are running, sir.
Are they? Oh. Oh. I thought for a second they would. See, the French are kind of stacking their defense. They have rows upon rows. You know, just trying to stop whatever, but man, look at this Austrian advance. French are just some gallant men, you know, doing constant charges. Ooh, beautiful charge. Don't know if it'll be enough. They got shot in the face. The French are fighting with some extreme bravery here on this side. I mean, imagine being one of these soldiers, you know, it's not an easy fight. You know that the Austrians are closing in on your flank. Oh, they are breaking this Russia, though. This could be huge if they make this. If they collapse in on this side. Oh, look at all the dead bodies. A lot of dead bodies. This French army, they are falling back. I mean, being hotly pursued by the Russians. The rest of the, you know, Moreau is pushing up here. I mean, they're trying to turn this flank and then turn and face this fresh coalition. Man, look at that. I miss this game sometimes, you know? Especially I haven't done it in a while. I'm like, man, it's so awesome. We got a cav charge going against some line infantry. That looks like it may hurt a little bit. France is trying to use that mass route to just break as many of the Austrians in a row as possible before, you know. Although Austria is not looking too strong except for over here, but that's because they have this Russia with them. Guys, this French army is definitely still kicking. Bonaparte's army is definitely still very much alive. Now, depleted units, yes, but look at this. They just keep rolling back this Austria. Just when you think they can't do any more, they do some more. It's beautiful. And they're going for a general. Where is he? There he is. Ooh, can this brave Hussar get a medal? Kill him, kill him. Ooh. Wait, was that not the general? Is this him? Oh, wait, there's two generals. Is that the general? He has a medal. I'm assuming that's the general. And there's the Russians general. This army is just so strong, I don't know if the French can win this. It is just, look at the size of these units still. In comparison to whatever French troops are left. This French army is just trying to... They're just trying to hold their own. They can't even... They're going to be defeated if they stand their ground. I really thought that Austrian general would be dead.
Our men are running, sir.
Now, Austria has been totally rolled back. So, I mean, France can still win this. I don't know how they would. And Leipzig was a bloody battle. How fitting. Look at that. Dude, that's just one section of the field. I guarantee you, there's multiple sections of just absolute bloodshed. However, you can tell the fighting has been very thick right in this area. And over here, I guess, too, but... looking at the grand scheme of things, so there's a big army here for the coalition. Their coalition, they are breaking over here, and France is kind of just using that to advantage to then smash into, hopefully smash into whatever remains of this Austria. It'll just be the Russians basically left. But I think even then, they probably will have enough troops to make their stand against the French. Whatever's left of this French army is pulled back, probably going to kind of anchor into the LOC, kind of bide their time. At least the sound fixed itself, you know? Meanwhile, a flank over on this road and then push in on this Austrian. You can even see through the smoke, see what, you know, units over there. How would you even identify that? Russia is shifting from over on this side against the 7-pointer back to the main fight. Well, I will say, Leipzig is definitely a pretty map to play on. Looks like we have a melee starting. So France will be trying to go for that flank. Cavalry and infantry over here for France. Clashing, so this may be the beginning of the end. Either way, it may be France's last-ditch effort to seize the victory here. They're using this mass route to help themselves. I think maybe use that morale debuff. Cavalry going to go in as well. These guys get shot up pretty bad. They're wavering. Here we go. France is exploiting this little gap in the line. This is the one place where they are making their real attack. The rest of the line is just holding. The bayonet charge going against this square. goodness. I'm seeing a lot of a breaking from the coalition. Look at this Russia just starting to collapse. Oh, wow. And now the 7-pointer, he's back. He's pushing on the flank, and all of a sudden, the tables are starting to turn. Back against the coalition, back in favor of the Imperial Army. Beautifully done.
Our men are running, sir.
Alright, well I'm still seeing some French breaking. This line, this Suvorov line is still holding to a certain degree. Still have their generals, so they still have some troops in the town. Some grenadiers, early era grenadiers, basically. And look at this last hold. Oh, that's cool. You see the church steeple here. Okay. Can't tell me that doesn't look cool. Wow. That's even better. My goodness. That looks beautiful. You got the flashes of musket, the smoke, and then the church steeple and some trees in there. Holy. That is beautiful. I'm starting to see a lot of French and not a lot of coalition, so I think they are finally making the win. Now there's some LOCs obviously have to be taken. There's 25 minutes remaining, so I don't think there's going to be a problem with them getting to those in time. What a comeback from France. Man, things were looking pretty grim for a little while there, and they managed to take that victory. Yeah, that's an Imperial victory if I've ever seen one. Now, I will probably skip ahead unless something big happens, because they're just going to do a little bit of cleanup, and we can look over the results, which you'll see I didn't lie. I said there were some amazing results this battle. But yeah, let me skip to the end here. Alright guys, like I said, the battle done. Here are the results. I don't know who was playing what, but we can give credit where credit's due for the players here. So Matt Bob, he had 22-25 for the kills. I'm assuming he was playing Napoleon Bonaparte, because he had the largest army. Then, of course, you have Argens with 1220. You have Lotus with 1166. And Chain with 945. On the other side, you have B squared, 991 is one of the Suvorovs. You have Al Iskandar, 963. You have Young with 1069. And then TT Ross with 1404. So some beautiful kills on both sides. Well fought on. It was a beautiful battle. That's all I can say, I guess. I can't say it enough. Really enjoyed that one. Hope you guys did as well. But that'll be it for me today, guys. Thank y'all so much for joining me. You have a great rest of your day. Stay safe. And as always, I will catch you all in another video.